Well, thanks for being here, everyone. Today, we just kind of have a couple of last minute housekeeping and just items in terms of navigating our staff appreciation and then wrapping up the closing of this year's school climate committee. So with that being said, I want to give you an update on the second sheet here. So on this Google sheet that you see in front of you, we've been kind of logging who's going to be doing what. Well, we've kind of already established for staff appreciation, right? So like I mentioned last time, the Elks are going to have treat bags for everybody. I visited with the Legion just recently again, I think it was on Friday, and they're putting together some stuff. So they're going to call me this week and let me know what they're going to do, but they're going to definitely do something for all of our staff. Polly's been connecting with some downtown people, as you can see in the sheet, trying to see if we can get some people to want to donate and help out with that. Besides Russ and Diane, have you come across anybody?
Because I missed the last big meeting, I just mentioned it at our exec. Yeah, we didn't give anything else.
Okay.
I know in the past when we've done it, it's just been people that we knew that were like, oh, we'll do a discount for coffee or.
Sure.
Or sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, I know it didn't felt Julia's planning stuff for that week.
Okay, fabulous. PTO, we've got that established. The Booster Club is handling high school PTO is going to go through the 8th grade, so K through.
Okay, she told us that she would go all the way through high school.
Oh, really?
Yep, she said we're gonna do the same thing for all buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, no,
But,
that sounds,
yeah,
that sounds great. We may have to then think about, because I know then,
That your Marsh.
yep. With the Booster Club covering the high school, then maybe we could use something from like the Legion to kind of cover for the K8, or we'll kind of see maybe what they come up with. And then, so from the district administration and then the school board members, so we have a bunch of Blue Pony planners that came in. So we're going to go around on the last day. So Polly, myself, and school board members and hand those out to all of our staff across the district. They're pretty nice. So people like those. And then the Lions is getting back with what they're getting as well. So they're also going to jump in and do something. And then Lynette, have you heard anything from the churches?
So I know they're doing something. I don't know if they're all doing the same thing. But every school will get something from their adoptive church.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we've got each school on something. So when you think about it though, with the 4-day week between Elks is covering everyone, district is covering everyone, between the Legion, the Lions, PTO, and Booster Club, there's another day. So we're really looking at the 4th day. We should have more than enough. So we're gonna have more than enough.
And if you
Yep. So we should have super amounts of stuff. So then it really will become, when you look at kind of my second question on here, which is, how do we want to organize the delivery of all of these items? Do we want stuff to just go direct to buildings? Do we want it to come into Robbins, deliver from there? What's our thought on?
would be easy to just went straight to the building.
I think it was next to the building.
Yeah, I think PTO should do that.
Okay.
Does the drops off.
So I know that's her plan right now.
And that's what Gamma did last year. I mean, I just coordinated with two of the guys, but.
Right.
Okay. Now, what about like for the Elks, the Legion, and the Lions? Do we want them, Holly, to maybe just come here and then? Well, like the Elks are doing goodie bags
Is that for the whole, everyone?
for everyone.
So 287.
They've got like, 300 and something coming. Yeah.
They can go here and then we can sort them.
I'm just wondering, like, because some of them, like you said, the PTO Booster Club, I mean, they obviously know they can go right to those places, but some of the community organizations, I don't know if they would rather go here, but maybe And Lynette, the churches obviously can just go there.
Yeah, I think they're pretty used to keeping them.
So maybe-
to their individual buildings,
Okay,
so,
maybe what I'll try and do is see if Rebecca can reach out to the Elks, the Legion and the Lions. And just see if they can go directly to the buildings, but what kind of schedule do we want per day and? We
Usually in
should-
the past, we just try to make sure something happens every day.
Yeah, I don't time necessarily, not as long as it's, yeah.
I mean, if they're bringing brunch stuff. Do their best,
yeah, I mean, I'm thinking they'll probably do that treat baking, type of stuff, so it really wouldn't matter.
No,
I'll try to see then, maybe I'll have Rebecca, when she's coordinating on some of those, to just see if she can get, the dates. You know, kind of one per date, so that it just kind of makes sense, and then Lynette, if you have. Do you have like a contact number, or do you want to try to organize the dates on the church end, or how do we want to do that?
I just let Kirk Curtis know because he's the president of Gamma. So they had a meeting sometime in May, and he said he would just let everybody know then. Generally, they don't do edible type things. I guess they've done donuts and stuff sometimes, but
I think they've done cookies.
cookies, yeah, like something that.
Fruit, right?
Last year when I had, we was silent and first did it together and they brought in fruit and pastries.
Would it be good to maybe just have them, maybe give like the school principal be the contact person?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe something like that, Erica? That way then they could just reach out when Rebecca touches base to say, hey, depending on like the delivery at that time of the day, maybe just reach out to the principal and they'll kind of let you know. The building secretary, I think.
Yeah. Either one.
It might almost be easier if we're trying to do something every day and like for consistency, it might be easier just to let that president know, like, hey, would you let your groups know, say, like, can we do the delivery, or can you guys do the delivery on this date? Versus leaving it to the one day.
I know. Yeah, and that's why I kind of want, just kind of talk through this is, I see that could be a,
But I think if they know, like, hey, by Wednesday, if you can just let your churches know
right,
that that's your guys' day.
yeah, like honestly, like whatever day we chose, like, and maybe we just want to say, for like the just planning purposes, like Wednesday of that week is the church day,
Yeah,
you know.
I think that'd be
we do.
easier than leaving it so wide open and then having contact and. And I don't think they have.
Cause I know, like, Carrie Weenie will bring stuff to school, she gives it to Janie, Janie takes it to the lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
like,
same for ours.
I think, yeah, I don't know, I mean, if somebody's doing breakfast, then that's one thing, but like Christina's gonna take it on Monday so that it's there all week. Like, I don't know that I wanna mess with something every single day, you know, like, as a teacher, like, give it to me on Monday and call it good. But it's the last week of school, like, I can't go, right, like. Yeah,
So do we have then, so we'll do ours. The district administration, we'll go Thursday. Like the churches, maybe Wednesday. Did you say PTO, was that kind of thinking? Maybe
Monday?
that was her plan the last time I talked to her.
PTO, we will say will be Monday.
And you really, if there's goodie bags or whatever, those could just be whatever.
Yeah, if they got dropped off here, I'm sure Jeff wouldn't mind just talking along with them and stay. and sort of thing.
We'll say booster. On Monday as well. And service stations. I'll just say maybe they can just do the delivery to the building lunch.
Yeah.
How's that sound? the service organization. So Elks, Lions, and Legion, we'll just say Tuesday.
Come to opinion, but just typing on the event so that it's not included. And say,
Keep that balance, no doubt. Like, so, yeah, for this. What is our thought? We can try to go different. On the website, remember we kind of talked about that, should we try to get out, maybe an article in the paper?
and to do an say thank you to all of our employees.
Fair.
Havre was going with it. A huge thank you to.
It's a good. It's a good. A little bit of a stretch. So we've got the paper. Do we want to then also maybe do something on the district website?
That on the district Facebook too. That's pretty bad with everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked about it. It's sort of like, okay. So it's not fine.
Website, Facebook. I have it on my phone post. It's gonna roll out on Thursday. Just kind of like a heads up, hey, this is coming up in May, and just, you know, and I said something about like, you know, just kind of tell the community, like, you know, if you wanted to that week, you know, share our thank yous with any of our staff members, you know, certainly that would be a great opportunity to do that. So that's all. Okay, so we have website, Facebook, and paper. I think that would be good. Any other thoughts on this?
I just had an idea of how,
Okay.
but I don't know how it could work out or if it would work out.
Okay.
But thinking like to get messages out to teachers and parents and staff and everyone, like somehow putting that out into an IC message, like maybe a Google, not a survey, but like a link where parents could send in like a personalized message to whatever staff member they wanted to, or students. And then
Yeah.
whoever has access to that can just forward them on to the.
I was thinking about setting something up at ours. We have our programs and our open house the week before.
So like.
So we just have, yeah, like little cues and
Yeah,
parents could just stop and write a thank you and put it in the file and we can sort them. And give them to teachers then. But even if you did something like that at conferences, then you would have a big bill for teacher.
Little bigger printouts so they could use for buses and.
yeah.
Maybe, yeah, do you think,
Your teacher.
yeah,
That's still. Like cooks and. Have little apples.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Ready
could
with
do-
somebody.
yeah. Should we? Should I just say something you thinking like that, how do you want to get that message out? If you want to try to message parents, or do you want me to add a line at the funny post that says, hey, you know, this might be, you want to do individualized, thank you, swing by the building and drop off.
Or
Drop off
for
the signature.
Child to write a note to anyone, really.
To some of your favorite schools, please.
Screen them
Yeah.
or sending them to teachers.
I know, that's the only part that. I know, it's a great idea, it's you.
When you're putting posts or in the newspaper or Facebook, could we say, and so would like to thank a staff, please send a note with your child or like out of the school. And we'll make sure they get it.
Try to come up with some kind of message
Yeah,
for that,
something.
that comes out.
I don't know how.
There's some kind of rituals like that.
It's a good idea.
It's like
It's
already,
a good idea.
it just automatically filtered through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we'll kind of think through that and kind of come up with something. I like it though. It's good. Okay, perfect. Anything else with this week that you can think of? Like I said, between all of us, we'll kind of organize that and we'll make calls and then have the deliveries just to the sites. Get messaging kind of covered, we do have some people in the community participate in towns. And there's lots of really cool stuff with that, so it's gonna be super good. I like it.
And then I think we talked about last time, doing like a whole district-wide email of like the discounts offered throughout town. If that's like sending that out on Monday.
Has anybody heard of?
Well, I know like Julie's doing something, I know that Grace and Brett will do.
Fair Couples usually does it all.
If you find out or hear any of those, yeah, if you could shoot those to like Holly and I,
Okay.
we know.
I was kind of add on to this.
Yeah, that would be good.
And everybody involved is aware, because they usually do it during the presentation, so.
You get a potential for an early release that Thursday, 3:55 or 4 o'clock. Well, I know you guys get done at 3:45.
That's a non-school Friday, right?
Yeah.
Then,
Because typically it's when, 4:15?
yeah.
Oh, it's not huge, but 3. The wind is blowing everywhere if you want.
Get that right.
No, because it's staff.
Right, yeah.
That might be the one, but
But in the,
maybe we should nix that one probably, just because it's, yeah. But all the other stuff will be really good. So. Thank you, everyone. Those are all really good ideas. So. Definitely flag. And then before we kind of wrap up, so Aaron had ordered, so as you know, the reader board was working and then it kind of went off and then it went back on and then it went off. So we ordered kind of the part that we feel is going to be the solver of this situation, which is like a $25 part. So, so we're hoping that's supposed to be in here either this week or next week. The guys are going to install it and then we're hoping to get it from some. So, yeah, but that should be up and going for next year for sure. So that'll be good. So it was good to see you come back to life and then have some stuff. So I think we're there. So that's good. And then the cameras, like I said, they are all getting ready to connect to the broadcast and live stream next year. So that's a positive. The floor in the high school looks absolutely fabulous. If you did not hear that we've had some water damage inside gym floor of the high school. So that was one of like this, oh my gosh. Yeah, so somehow the hose, where then they fill up like buckets, was kind of pushed up over and then was not shut off all the way, so it ran through the wall. Flowed over and onto the gym. So the weekend.
well, Nancy got over Saturday night, so it was just a day. But
It was,
It's a lot of water.
it was, yeah. And
It was
fortunately, it's not like all, like there was between like the baseline in. So the wood could be replaced in that chunk relatively easy, and then we ended up getting repainting the gym floor. Yeah, which was like outstanding. So, We had conversations though, because of the last, X amount of years that this has been. These students will probably never cover that, again, so. You gotta make sure we don't have any more
So for the,
wet disasters on St. Florida.
back to the NFHS cameras. Is there any way to make sure that they're hooked up so the score is on there?
Yeah, they all have that.
It's easy to do, but we don't do it. And it's very frustrating to watch a game with no,
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, the banner score, and it did,
even at the
there
middle
was
school.
a whole lot of times the banner score worked just fine.
Right.
So that's definitely with the new cameras, now we should have the latest in terms.
Do we have a new camera at the middle school? I'll ask.
School, but maybe ask and find out, get Amy's take on it. Yeah. Yeah, not sure on those.
Christina had said she could K-12 if we want, but she had heard Woodruff was doing that.
Yeah, I told her.
Yeah, so maybe
So
let's,
I'll just tell her K-8.
let's do K and then boost
Nine.
what covers the other, because that'll be a perfect fit for the data. Yeah, because Eric was planning on the high school, so I think that'll be good. Yeah, Jean, you can let me know what Amy has to
Okay.
say on that, but, the big
I'll
picture.
just look back at some previous games.
Yeah.
And see if the scoreboard was up.
Yeah, kind of see what that looks like, so. But,
So all it is a K.
should be good, so. Any other ones before we kind of wrap up, but this will be our last meeting of the year, and then we'll just kind of coordinate back and forth via email and stuff, as stuff's coming in for staff appreciation. And then we'll plan on getting rolling next fall again, so I appreciate everyone's effort, thank you guys for all pitching in, lots of great ideas, and when you look back over that implementation plan to now, though, we covered a lot of ground. We changed a lot of things this year, so we made a lot of progress, that's really good, which is super excellent. I think this is gonna go really well. I like the paper, the media, when every one of those, because I was at a lot of these, right, advocating and speaking on the levy and all that kind of stuff. So I was at all these community organization meetings, and they all were very willing to jump in and want to help.
Well, and I think once
So
you
that was
get
good.
past the first year of, it's different than it always has been.
Yes, I think so too.
Then people, I think, will be more.
Yep.
Cognizant of it.
Yep, I do too.
So.
Super good. Awesome. Anything else?
It doesn't necessarily have to do with our committee, but just
Mhm.
because it deals with the community and school and stuff. For Fridays at Fifth Avenue,
Okay.
our leadership team has decided to just go with one Friday next year.
With
You know,
Jeremiah the same.
Yeah, it really was, we felt like there was a huge community need, and after this year, it's really not there.
Sure.
And just working for
We're
that
starting to
group or
figure out,
day, that
yeah.
was kind of the purpose of this whole thing
Mhm.
for the last 5 years, so we're just gonna do one Friday next year. One Friday a month. Yeah, one Friday, yeah, just one, that's it. Yeah, no, so just one Friday a month.
The support Fridays are off.
It's on the days that we don't have support, right?
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
Thank you for doing that. Yeah.
the last
2 years, but.
Super huge.
You're getting so big.
so then where will we kind of need to focus when we start again next fall?
Maybe what we'll do is we'll kind of start and see what kind of needs are out there in the fall, and we'll do a survey or something. And kind of see where the needs are, and then we'll go from there.
Tied into the strategic plan.
Yeah, I'll kind of tie them and see where we need to, what that looks like for next year. Good question. Fine. Well, thank you. Enjoy your evening.